This is a podcast presented by
Hard to Find Media.
Subscribe to Hard to Find Media on youtube.com/Hard to Find Media Network. This shit is free. Share it. Blast it.
Did you let people know where you're doing this from?
Hello! If you can hear the sound of my voice, that means you're listening to KAOP, AM 1045. My name is Danny.
This is Adam.
And we are Accents on Purpose, a weekly radio show dedicated to covering the DIY scene of Seattle, the Pacific Northwest, and beyond. We are broadcasting live from our studio, located at 20th and Church, deep in the heart of Seattle's Capitol Hill neighborhood. In the control booth, as always, is our engineer, Gary. And according to our meters, we are pumping out 88 watts of power, which means our signal is reaching as far as Eugene, Oregon. How are you doing, Adam?
I'm not doing so well.
Why aren't you doing so well?
I went to the doctor's recently to get a physical, and he said,
This is going to get really weird.
I have got some bad news for you. And he said...
I thought you were telling me that you had bad news for me.
No.
So the doctor said he has bad news for you.
Well, it could be for... It could eventually affect you.
Oh, my God.
He told me that I have pre-hypertension, which has to do with heart disease and high blood pressure. It's the silent killer. It's the biggest killer of men in this nation.
Wait, actually, I just realized you told me a little bit ago that you're worried about your blood pressure, and I asked you if a doctor had taken it or a medical professional, and you said no, that you're just sitting on your couch, like using your own homemade tools. So you took my advice. You went to the doctor.
So I went to the doctor.
Yes.
And he gave me my blood pressure, and he says, you got to get this blood pressure way down. Way down. He says, you have pre-hypertension, you're like almost in the red, you're about to die,
in the red
you're
records.
A walking corpse,
It's a great record.
It's bad.
This is all you have to say?
So he told me, I need to cut out salt, I need to stop drinking, no more red meat, I got to start exercising.
No red meat, that's good.
Probably a good thing.
You walk a lot.
I am a walker. So I figured it'd be fun today for all of us to just go around. I brought my blood pressure cup.
No.
To all check our blood pressure and just see how we're all doing, because it is the largest killer of men in this nation.
How about we save that for a little bit? We'll do that at the end. That's how we'll end the show.
Well, because it would be great. That's great. We do it at the end and the beginning because we can see how our blood pressure has changed through the show. Because when you hang out with people in a supportive environment, that helps get your blood. It relaxes you. It reduces stress.
So, Adam, I have a funny story for you.
Well, yeah, go ahead and tell me that while we get this going here.
So, as you know, I work at a record store. See, this is what's going to happen. You're paying more. You don't have the batteries. See,
No, I got the batteries.
You're
Don't
paying
worry,
more
don't worry.
attention to this than you're not
No,
listening.
I'm listening to the store. You work at a record store.
And I try to be... Okay, so now... No!
I want to hear the story. It sounds good.
Your machine is making too much noise.
Oh, shit. Okay, now I got to start over.
You don't have the battery back. We're going to do this at the end.
I got the battery right here. I got it right here. Hold on. It'll just take a second.
This is awful. People are changing the channel.
3, 2, 1.
How long does this take per person?
Who knows? I mean,
You use this machine. Oh, this is not happening. Okay, so I work at a record store. And I can't do this. You really are going to do this to me. How long does this take?
You're stressing me out. Just let it happen.
So it's 159, 151, 146, 180. This is the first time we've ever had dead air on this radio station.
156/98. That is first level red. That's a good thing we checked this. And look, I look so calm. You wouldn't know. I'm a walking dead man.
I think your machine is cheap and broken.
Well, we don't know. Do you want to try it?
No.
I'm sure you have great blood pressure.
Justin, can you ask me how my day is?
Danny, how's your day?
It's funny that you should ask because so I work at this record store and I try to be very nice to the people that come in, no matter what, especially younger people. Because when I was younger, I was really nervous about going to record stores, and I would have a much better record collection if I wasn't so nervous. Because I didn't want to buy stuff because they'd be like, "Oh, you don't already own this? You're a poser," which would never happen.
Absolutely.
So, two kids came in today. Two kids came in today, and one of them had a guitar, an acoustic guitar, and he asked if he could listen to a record, which we have a listening station. I'm like, that's fine, and he wanted to listen to the White Album, so I gave him the headphones, I gave him the cartridge, and then he said that he didn't know how to do it, and so he didn't know how to put the record on and have it make a sound. So I was like, fine, okay. Then, really quickly after I got everything going and he was listening to it, he started trying to play along to the record he was listening to. So now there's just kids standing in the store with an acoustic guitar trying to play along with the White Album. And it was really annoying me, but I was trying to keep my heart rate down. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to just be a nicer person and just let things go, and who cares? And it went on for a while. It went on for a pretty long while. I think it went on for a whole side of the record. And then I thought it was over, and I was glad. I was like, hey, good job. You didn't say anything to him. You just let it go. Hopefully this kid gets really excited about music, and this will be great. Then he's piddling around the Beatles section a little bit more, and he pulls out Sgt. Pepper.
Ambitious.
Well, Sgt. Pepper has printed lyrics on the back. So he doesn't go back to the record player. Now he just starts trying to play songs from Sgt. Pepper and reading the lyrics off the back of the record.
I was told Sgt. Pepper's was the first album to contain liner notes.
Actually, I was almost... You are correct. I was almost going to say that, but I thought I'd bore our listeners with trivial facts.
You, man.
Watch that heart pressure. And so... I just broke, and I was like, listen, you can't do this. I'm sorry. This is there's other people here. I'm playing music, and it's just not something that it's not an okay thing for you to do. And he felt really bad, and him and his friend left, and I think they were upset. But I'm standing by that. I don't think people should sing and play guitar in the store. What do you think about that?
Well, my feelings are still hurt from your comments about my blood pressure and about...
singing and playing guitar is one thing. Singing and playing drums is a whole other thing. And right now, Adam, I don't know if you noticed, we have half of Seattle's hottest band in the studio right now, Dreamdecay.
I love them.
Do you two want to introduce yourself? Say your name and what you do in the band.
Sure. I'm Alex, and I play French horn and hi-hats. And electric guitar.
I'm Justin. I play drums and sing.
So I do want to start with that. Do you find it difficult being a singing drummer? Because some of the other members sing a little bit, but you the bulk of the singing is you. So the bass player sings a little bit, right? So
just a little bit.
Literally.
Just one song.
Line, kind of.
Yeah.
Thing.
Okay. Well,
only because, yeah.
Well, he's got to ask the sound man for a microphone to get that one line in.
It's always a big deal.
It is a big deal. Yeah, it's kind of difficult. I've gotten pretty used to it, but
still impresses me.
Yeah.
Do you feel that you piss off sound guys?
No, I never had that happen. The funniest thing
is the miking different when they have to.
I just have a mic that comes up basically right in between my legs in front of the snare,
Yeah.
And
I've got a story about that.
Yeah, the funniest.
Well, you know what? Sorry, let's hear this, Alex. You're on.
It's our best story about the mic.
Oh, yeah. Well,
so
hopefully people are still.
If you can't imagine what he's talking about, the mic. He doesn't put the mic stand off to the side. It's right in between his legs. And we were on tour a few years ago with Iron Lung on the East Coast, and we played a show. We played a matinee show at this house in.
Wasn't it the Boston show? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But there was a kid who came to this show, and he came to the show the next day in Long Island, which was a really funny matinee show at a bar. And who was it that overheard him? Our friend who was on tour with us or something. Ian. It was Ian.
Yeah.
And he overheard this kid describing his friends our show the day before. He's like, and you got to see this band Dreamdecay. They got this singer, and he plays drums at the same time, and he's got this microphone in between his legs. It's like he's singing into his cock.
Oh my god!
So that's what it's like.
So there you go. Imagine that, listeners.
Yeah.
So I was just asking because, like, I mean, I would think they would be worried about like other like the drums being picked up through the vocal mic.
That definitely does happen.
Yeah.
That does happen.
And he has delay on the vocals too, so it sounds kind of crazy.
Yeah, it sounds pretty dub in parts, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've actually haven't really run into like as many like sound guys being like annoyed by it as we think. I don't know.
Do you think they're just scared of you?
Maybe.
Perhaps. I don't know. Yeah, it's never really been an issue. Luckily, it's probably going to be now.
So it's funny. It's funny that you mentioned dub because actually, you're a fan of rhythmic repetition.
It's true
with your music. I mean, do you want to try to describe your sound? You just don't care.
I feel like it's harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll skip that.
But like rhythmic repetition, that's cool. I mean, I feel like that's
just because we
pretty
can't think
spot
of
on.
another part.
That's literally like if we have one cool thing, we'll write it out forever.
So, who in the band is the first person to be like, okay, that's enough times. Like we need a change here.
It used to be me because I wasn't an original member of the band. I joined like I don't know 6 years ago or something.
Mm-hmm.
But at first, the repetition and
so being the new guy in the band, you were fine with like, okay, listen,
I was like, we can
Yeah,
stop
he kind of
this.
just rode with it.
And we used to improvise more. Sometimes we would just play something for a really long time live, and like Justin used to make me play this guitar intro forever until he like gave me the signal. And sometimes I would just be like dying inside, waiting for him to stop. There's a video you can watch of us playing in Oakland at 1, 2, 3, 4 Go Records, and it's particularly long. And
would this be the first song of the set?
yes,
Okay.
Yeah, totally.
and I'm just waiting. I'm trying to play it cool, but I'm really not having a good time.
You're doing the opposite of how comedians work, where they're waiting for the light and then they have to stop.
Right.
You're like, oh, dang it, I have to stop. Where you're like, please,
I'm like,
please.
let's do this. Let's
Please.
do this. Please.
Justin, have you ever like messed with him and like while he's doing the intro, like you get up and like walk and go to the bathroom, or like you go outside to like find a candy bar?
I feel like there have been moments where we'll be doing it and like if it wasn't like at the beginning of the set and it'll be later and like I'm pretty tired, I noticeably will pick up like water or something and I'll like look at Alex's face and it'll be like literally like fuck you.
I thought we were gonna.
Like I thought like put that shit down. Like let's do this.
Yeah.
So you're not one of those guys that has the water bottle on your mic stand.
No, I usually don't have any water on stage. I'm from New Mexico. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know.
Interesting. So, in Justin, you're from Arizona.
Yeah.
Did you two know each other?
No.
Do you think that you bonded over being from hotter states?
Definitely.
Or just Southwest.
Southwest.
pride.
Just Southwest states.
Yeah.
I was actually a question I was going to ask a little bit later, but I'll just ask it now. Justin, do you think that you would have formed this band if you would have stayed in Arizona and not like moved to the Pacific Northwest in 8th grade?
No.
Definitely not. No. No, there's no way. I have no way. My like musical taste was totally shaped after I moved here, because I moved here in like 8th grade. It's like so prime for that like period. I feel like at least it was for me. So
As a corollary, if you had never lived in Arizona, do you think you still would have formed a band?
ooh.
Oh, this band.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably, but that's a good thought. I don't know.
Follow-up question. Which of those two questions did you think was the better question?
Okay, that's not necessary. So, because another thing, so the name of your most recent record is You,
Yeah.
spelled Y-U, and I'm sure you're sick of this. I think it's a very interesting story, and I think our listeners would enjoy it too. So, can you explain and what the cover looks like? Because that all kind of like works in together.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah.
So the concept, so it's YU, and the U is like a Spanish U, with an apostrophe over the top. So it's like symbolically kind of represents the tangle of two cultures, I guess, and like U being like, it's like pretty identity based, like the theme of the record. So like Alex came up with the idea of combining both English and Spanish in that
'cause
way.
Justin like had an idea to call the record "You," just like YOU, and then he shared with me his lyrics to help try to come up with song titles, because we just had working titles before then. Except the only one,
song 2.
well, Bass
like,
Jam,
you know,
which we
Bass
actually
Jam.
kept the name of the song.
Yeah,
That one stayed the same. And he explained to me a little bit, like thematically, and then I thought, well, what if we called it "two," like in Spanish for you, and then I don't know. Then we just thought, oh, we could combine them because that seemed to really like encompass the whole idea. And then with on the cover, there's a Venn diagram with the it's two intersecting circles, and it has the name in the middle, kind of like visually representing that.
Yeah.
Well, and
I
then
tried to get pretty deep with it.
Yeah, totally.
Well, 'cause-
we got pretty heavy.
Like, for punk.
Yes. Well, then, because also, Justin, you've said in interviews before about, like, it was a real shock to move to the Northwest because, like, all of a sudden, you were, like, the only brown kid.
Yeah, totally.
Especially in Bainbridge Island.
Yeah. I grew up on Bainbridge Island, and I totally was like thrown into a completely different culture than where I was from in Arizona.
How old were you when you moved?
I was 13, yeah. So
From the transcripts I got from your school records, you were in 8th grade.
yeah. 8th grade. And I did pretty bad.
Oh,
When you first showed up, were there things that you're like, wow, there's a lot of X around here? Like, there's a lot of people or culture or stores or
Color
focus
green.
on.
Green it was huge for sure. Green was like massive, and then I had like never really seen like rain. Like obviously, I think that's a pretty given around here, but like there's monsoon season in the Southwest. It's like pretty intense, but like the rain here is like completely different. It's like it's a completely different experience. But yeah, then just like I don't know. I think I was just so like worried about fitting in the entire time.
And that's why you started punk bands.
Yeah, definitely.
What was your first band?
I was in this band called in 8th grade, later that year, I started my first band. It was called The Ruins
Whoa.
with my friend Nick Mann.
And were you playing drums?
I was, yeah.
Were you singing too?
No, I didn't start that until later.
So now, when you formed Dreamdecay, were you like, I'm gonna sing and play drums? Like, was it always that way from the beginning?
I played guitar first, originally.
I actually saw their first show, and Justin was playing guitar. It was the first time I'd seen him play, because I had always seen him play bands and play drums in bands.
Yeah, I played guitar first, and then like as like things kind of changed, it was like it became more necessary to play drums just because I couldn't really find people to play with.
Yeah.
Well, and I know you interviewed them, Haunted Horses.
Yeah.
Colin actually was the original drummer.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Colin
but then
played
he
drums.
And then he kept quitting.
Yeah,
he quit.
He quit.
That's one of these shit talks you're gonna have to edit out.
Actually,
You hear me,
no, leave
Colin?
it.
I actually have no idea what's going on.
Me either.
Alex,
Yes.
how often do you record a band and they ask you to join the band?
This is the only one.
So Dreamdecay was the first and only time.
Yeah.
Did
They
you?
tricked
So
me.
how? So I'm very interested in this. So wait. So the story is that you were recording them.
Yeah, well, they
need
were
help.
interested in recording themselves, and Justin knew that I knew how to record, and I had some equipment.
So he asked, "Can I just be your intern for a little bit? Get all the skills. I'm out of there."
Kind of. Well, I wasn't like doing that for work or anything. He knew I just recorded some of my own bands, and I was living in Portland at the time, and I said I'd come up and help, and they did actually pay me, but afterwards.
Well,
Like, I didn't know I was being paid, so it was just like a friend thing.
I don't even
But I still
remember
took
that.
the money. You
Of
give me
course.
$100, I'll never forget.
I mean, that's just. I mean, even just the Bolt Bus fucking
Yeah.
That's true.
ticket.
So I came up with some gear, and it was funny because our old guitarist Nick here, he knew how to record too. I wasn't sure why he wasn't just doing it. But I recorded them as a 3-piece, which is live besides vocals, which is how they had been playing for a while. And
The vocals were like on a drum kit or something.
No, he just recorded the vocals afterwards.
We just
Yeah,
tracked
yeah,
them
just
You
separately.
said you were
separately.
playing live. You were recording the same way you played live, so you guys would just play the
No,
instrument.
he meant as a 3-piece.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And
How's that
And-
heartbeat?
yeah, so then Justin was still interested in playing guitar, but he had the intention of writing second guitar parts for the record, and he did that all after the fact. Like the songs you hear on Envy weren't actually played like that live until I joined the band. They were much more stripped down with just one guitar. So if you want to hear Envy, how they actually played it live, just I think maybe take off the left headphone.
Yeah.
And you can hear what it was like live.
I'm gonna be bootlegging that.
Super skeletal sounding, and
And it'll be such a shitty bootleg. It's just that people's one speaker
Yeah.
won't have any music.
yeah, I can help you put it into mono.
awesome.
Good.
Because there's
And-
that whole thing with the Beatles, right? With the mono.
No,
stereo.
we're not fucking
Yeah.
talking about the fucking Beatles. Continue.
Justin was like, "Hey, we need someone to play. You recorded us, so you already basically know the songs, which of course you don't."
Wait, what was the
learn
situation?
the
Did,
band's
did they
song.
did they wine you and dine you?
No, I
I'm sorry.
remember what it
Actually,
was.
that is
They
also
paid
really
you
funny.
$100.
My other band wasn't very active. I don't know. I just thought it'd be fun.
Well, I remember there was like a weekend of shows, and we're like, Alex, like we got this like weekend thing. Like,
Oh, yeah.
can you help us? Can you play this? And then like you played that, and then it was just kind of like you were just like in. I think it was just like kind of like.
And when they went
Kinda
on
went
the
on
tour with Iron Lung, I wasn't even sure if I was gonna go because Jensen didn't know from Iron Lung didn't know he was organizing the whole thing. Didn't know that I was in the band yet,
Yeah.
or he didn't know they were gonna be bringing an extra person.
And so
But
you
it
had
worked out
you had
okay.
like hang out on the roof and just like ride that. To the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
Oh, but that is a funny thing to say. Like, you recorded us. You know all the songs. No, that's not. That's not it at all.
That's not really how it works at all.
No,
I think that we kind of like always we're like, oh man, hopefully like maybe Alex could play, you know, and it worked out.
yeah, we've been doing that ever since with other new people in the band.
Just keep grabbing
We
people.
just kind of.
So what makes you decide that a song just needs a live tambourine?
Oh, well, we put tons of tambourine all over our last record.
Yeah,
And it just
and our friend Clark, we just like him. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so just get up on stage,
Yeah.
play that tambourine.
Yeah. We felt like it's pretty like all over the record, and it kind of felt empty without
It
it.
was also because John switched. See, we had
That's
two
true.
guys named John in our band.
For a little,
One
a
played
year,
guitar
yeah.
and one played synthesizer. Then John with the H, he
And that's he spells his name with an
J-O-H-N.
H, not that he uses
Yeah, we just call him
heroin.
the John.
John with the H.
John with the H.
John with the H.
He's a drug dealer. John with the H. Oh man, I'm so glad you're here. John with the H.
He was
Let's
more
get this
focused
going.
on the H, so he had to quit. No, he was working actually for Habitat for Humanity. and he
Another
did-
H.
Yeah.
The double H. Oh my god, H is all over
Yeah.
the place.
And so he kind of knew when he took the job he wasn't gonna be able to tour or anything. So when he quit, we had other John switch from synth to guitar because he was a good guitar player, and he actually knew the songs and at least how they went. And so we've just been. But he also used to play tambourine as well in certain parts when he wasn't playing keyboard. And
Is when in the studio, do you have guests come in to play the tambourine, or you just take care of it?
No, we just take care of it. It's
No.
really dismal and bleak. When
Has there ever been a disagreement about the tambourine?
no, not really. We're usually pretty good about it.
That'd be good. That's good. 'cause that'd
sometimes
be-
whether it should be
I mean,
Double
you can
time
go. Yeah,
or-
the double time thing can really.
whether it should be
Well, yeah, because there's like the shaky kind, and
Yeah.
there's the kind that has like the drum head type thing.
Yeah, I still don't really know the difference between those two, or what one offers.
Well, because
But
the one with the
actually-
drum head, you can like get like a little SWAT sound too. Actually, what's funny is the fucking original guy, one of the original guys in Brian Jonestown Massacre. He always had two, and he would take turns. And
we
he,
just
like,
watched
We just
Dig,
watched
actually.
Dig.
Oh, you did watch
Yeah.
this?
We were-
Great.
I love that movie.
Yeah, very entertaining. We were surprised how prominent the tambourine player was in the movie, and he
Um,
kind of held it together a little bit.
yeah, he does hold it together.
Or
The rumor at the time, which this may or may not be true, and I might be slandering someone, but we have good lawyers, so I don't care, was that he originally was like the guy who got them drugs, and so that they just like always wanted him in the band.
he looks like
He does.
Yeah, Whether or not that's true, who knows? But that was always like the rumor that was going around.
So I'm noticing, so you talked about like you joined the band a little bit later. You were asked to join.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that you're kind of put into this role where you're performing in ways that you would prefer not to, and you're kind of begrudgingly waiting for someone else to release you. I'm getting sort of the big brother, little brother kind of dynamic where there's an affinity and a love there, but there's also a little bit of like
toxicity.
Watching someone suffer and getting enjoyment. I'm seeing a laugh, a big smile, he's very happy.
Well, there's laughing with and at, which I think we've covered on this podcast before.
It's funny because I'm older.
Yeah, if anything, I feel like you're the big brother.
Like the responsible one, or you just talk.
Oh yeah, I would say more like dominant.
No,
really,
totally.
Okay.
Like you're the one, you recorded it, and they're like, "Gee Willikers, we can't do this without you. Can you just join the band?"
I wish it was like that.
I feel like if anything, Alex is the big brother of the band for sure.
Aww.
Wouldn't you think?
So. More of
you're trying to see what you can get away with.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm going to tolerate because.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because in the band, actually, I think like I had a band that I definitely felt like the kind of leader, the organizer, and then I think Justin was that way in Dreamdecay, and Jason, our bass player, still has his own band, and our friend John even too. So we're kind of like too many cooks in the kitchen sometimes.
You know what's funny? On Discogs, Justin is the only person listed as a member of the band.
I've tried to edit that.
Sure you have.
Very curious.
Interesting.
I have. I can't figure it out.
I have. Gee Willikers, I don't know why that keeps happening.
Well, we actually had this problem where because Justin did originally start the project himself, like the first tape he put out, that was like probably 9 years ago or 10 years ago or something, was just him. And I don't know, it must have been in like an early thing that was written about the band that it was like Justin's project.
Oh.
And then when people would do research for new interviews and stuff, and maybe the Discogs thing was part of it, they would just see that information and just kind of like pass it on. And there was actually a write-up about our new record. It happened in like last year in something that was written in a paper in like San Francisco or something when we were on tour. And we actually talked to the kid about it, and he felt really bad.
Motherfucker.
Yes,
Come on,
seriously.
man.
Sorry.
Because people out.
It was due the next day.
Right. And it's like, but we got a write up. It was like the first bit of small press we had for this new record, and it was on AV Club, and which has a lot of like readership or whatever. And they said it's Justin Gago's project, so I actually emailed the guy who I kind of knew
with the cease and desist letter.
Yeah,
we shut him down.
I was like, hey man, I hate to say this, but like, it's not. It's like a regular band.
Yeah.
Does that make it more funny since it came from you and not from Justin?
Maybe, but I kind of knew him. He's a
the only reason why he did it is because he kind of knew him.
Yeah.
I've definitely with the San Francisco dude. I was the one that talked to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a weird thing that like has followed us.
So one band that I'm thinking of that started out as just like one dude that's become like a full band is the OCs.
True.
Have you ever seen that band?
Yeah, we've seen them a bunch.
I've never seen them.
Oh, you've never? I've seen them like 10 times.
I believe they've seen you.
They have.
Do you want me to keep asking questions? Or you just want to tell that story and say what's happening?
Oh, where John Dwyer came to our show.
Alternatively,
we can all
take our blood pressure right now.
No, I might sue
I'm
you.
terrified to do that, honestly.
I'm good. I'll do it.
I feel like Alex will probably be the best thing. I don't want to know.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
Justin, you're going to tell an interesting story from your last tour, which also has ramifications for this fall.
That's true. So we played a show in L.A. in March, and
do you remember the venue?
Yeah, we played at this bar called the Griffin.
It's our friends Wand. They booked it.
Oh,
yeah,
Wand's good.
Yeah, and I remember we were setting up and stuff, just kind of settling in, and I looked over, or one of us looked over and noticed that John Dwyer from the OCs was there. And, that's, we just kind of were like, oh, that's cool. Like,
And he's just, like, playing some pool tabs. And
he was just kind of hanging out, getting ready for the show, just chilling. I don't know. Yeah, and I think all of us were just kind of like, whoa, that's cool. And then I remember right before we were going to play, I went outside to grab Clark, the tambourine player.
Oh, yeah, you can't go fucking on stage without
It's true.
the tambourine player.
I had to grab him. He was outside, and he was actually already talking to John Dwyer. And I was like, oh, that's funny. Of course, Clark is the one that's always just making the connections.
Was he saying, like, I like the OCs, but I think you could use a little bit more tambourine. You
tambourine.
could use a little bit more tambourine, and I just happen to have one on me.
I think what Clark is actually trying to do is funny. He lives in Seattle, but he's from Reno, and he loves Reno so much he was trying to convince John Dwyer to take the OCs to Reno.
Because he used to run a venue there called the Holland Project before he moved here. And, he says he's been trying to get the OCs to go to Reno for a long time.
That's strange that they wouldn't just do it.
I think that, like, I don't know.
Reno?
I was in Reno once when I was 17.
Yeah.
So, like, 42 years ago.
But yeah, so John Dwyer was there, and we met him. He said that he was there to see our band, and and then
so you think he reads the AV Club?
I don't know. He said
I think he probably follows Iron Lung Records because they toured with Total Control.
Oh, okay, there you go.
And that's kind of how I figured. But he said he had heard our record that day and he liked it and he wanted to come check us out.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then he invited us to play some shows with them this September, which we're doing in Seattle and Portland.
Just two?
Yeah, just those two.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like really wild. I mean, we're not like
it felt really LA to us.
Oh yes,
so like whoa, LA.
It was very.
Were the paparazzis taking pictures as all this was going down?
That's like a famous person to us,
I think most people listening to this would consider that a famous person. So wait, now for this Seattle show, are you playing last or are they playing last?
They're playing last. This is their show.
I don't know. I mean,
I wasn't sure either. I figured because we had all the draw.
Yeah, you might have to edit that Facebook invite.
Yeah,
let's edit the set times.
That's true. Oh man, that's a good idea.
So no double encore, I guess.
A double encore. Speaking of shows, you folks played a little show called the Upstream Music Festival.
Oh yeah.
How did that go?
It was fine. I mean, I think I will say this: like, it was really, really nice that we were asked to play, and we were asked by a friend, Charlize.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And you played with Haunted Horses.
Yeah,
our
whole
show was really.
It was
cool.
a really good show. If that would have been as part of something else, that would have been a show I would have been really excited.
Yeah,
for.
we played like the coolest showcase.
It was just one
you just
thing
did like
was
120 bands.
Gladly.
One thing was that like the venue that we played at, which was like an empty storefront kind of thing, had, since it wasn't zoned for like performances or something, there was like a really small, like 30 people occupancy limit. So they could people had to like wait outside. Yeah. It was like really ridiculous, and like everyone was bummed about that.
It was so awkward. It was. So
usually we get 35 people.
I know. It was just like everyone was just really bummed about it, and honestly, it was kind of okay because really there wasn't that many people.
No, don't whisper. Like, this is radio.
It turned out being okay, but the whole thing was kind of the weather wasn't great. It's kind of like I just went to Block Party for the first time, and although definitely not my scene for the most part, we saw I went with our friend's band Miss Cummings, and like that just felt like, I mean, that's been going on for years, and it just this was the first year of Upstream. It definitely felt like a first year.
I made festival. What I thought was the funniest internet joke I've ever made. And some people thought it was funny, but I said Upstream, more like downpour, because it was like raining a lot.
Yes.
It was.
That's right. Do you get it, Adam?
I get the joke. I just think it's funny that you're bringing up how proud of your own joke you are.
I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was interesting. I think that, like, besides the bands that we played with and the other handful of friends that were playing around the area during the weekend, we were probably the most excited about, like, food that was given
Oh,
to
yeah.
us.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
the
really-
VIP lounge.
which is
I actually
very,
take
very-
it all back. That was awesome.
No, like that was like very new to us.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we've never really. I
That
mean,
was
we're
so
like
cool.
very comfortable playing basements and stuff, and so having access to something like that was very
Was it,
bizarre.
are we talking like a buffet situation?
There
Yeah,
was,
there was little sandwiches.
yeah.
There was
But-
all
but,
sorts
like-
of candy.
But wait, wasn't it like
chips.
buffet? But like wasn't like the chef making it right there? I saw
it
some
wasn't
pictures.
even like that.
Oh,
legit.
no.
It was
Okay. I
like some
thought-
sandwiches.
Oh,
Like
okay.
What was kind of bullshit? They had a coffee thing, and I really like coffee, and they had these Cafe Vita cups, and I was like, oh, they got like real coffee.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. I'll drink that. And then
Just the cups.
dude, it was just the cups. It was totally Maxwell House.
Whoa.
damn.
But I kind of at the beginning I was like, this is pretty good. Until I realized it was Maxwell House.
I want to tell a quick story about free food at an event that I went to.
Hey, Danny, do you have any good stories about free food at any events or anything like that? Hey, Danny, do you have any good stories about free food at events or anything like that?
It's funny that you bring that up because so this last weekend I went to Portland for the Portland Zine Symposium, which is a great event. It's the second time I've done it in the past 3 years, and is well organized. It was a little hot, but besides that, it's really good. But one of the funny things is they want to provide food for people, which I think is a nice thing to do. But they're on like a shoestring budget, and so they just work on donations. And Voodoo Donuts donates food, but it's just 5-gallon buckets of donuts. Just the day-old donuts just shoved into
bucket.
5-gallon buckets.
Wow.
And it's kind of gross because you just have to stick your hand in and pull out like a half, maybe a quarter. And
Sounds kind of good right now.
yeah, that sounds delicious.
So these are like the Home Depot empty 5-gallon, brand new,
Paint
but
bucket.
still a plastic bucket.
yeah, actually, maybe I'll make this like the thing, but that's what it looks like.
That's so sad.
Okay, that's better than I thought.
I
Because
know
in my
the
mind,
same.
I was imagining like a grape crushing station. Kind
Oh,
of,
yeah,
you
it's
know.
But if you see, this one has a wrapped piece of bubble gum in it. But so okay, I fucking love donuts. I like recently I went to Canada, and it was the second time I've been to Canada, but not the highlight, but one of the highlights was I finally got to go to a Tim Hortons, which is the Canadian Dunkin' Donuts. Fucking love donuts. But I just love donuts. Like, I don't need Fruit Loops or Cocoa Puffs or, like, bacon
I like
or, like...
Safeway donuts.
Yeah,
okay.
they got some good donuts.
Yeah.
So anyways, I just wanted to share that.
I know this interview is about Dreamdecay, but Danny, I've got 2 questions queued up for you, and I'd like to put you in the hot seat for just a moment.
Okay.
Please.
So what is it specifically that you like about donuts? What is your draw? What is your, like... Did you, like, fall down and scrape your knee when you were 10 and your mom was like, oh, come in, little Danny, let me give you a donut? And that made
No,
everything...
there's sugar and dough. That tastes good.
But there's lots of things that are composed of sugar and dough. So what is it about a donut that appeals to you?
I don't know why you're turning this into, like, a therapy session.
No, I'm just very curious because it's so specific and it does not align with the vision of Danny that I have in my mind.
I think like 90% of the time I try to eat really healthy, but fucking I really like donuts. I don't know. I love Boston cream donuts. I think they're one of the best things to eat.
Okay, now actually I got a third question, but then this is a quick one. So a lot of people think that Hawaiian pizzas are just like a complete bastardization of the pizza form. Do you have anything like that for a donut where you're like, that's not a donut, that's some stupid...
Besides everything that's served at Voodoo Donuts.
So all that kind of stuff.
I think, and this isn't because I'm a vegetarian, but bacon on a donut.
That's stupid. That's fucking that's ridiculous.
I never liked that. Some people
Justin,
love
do you have
it.
anything you want to...
I mean,
But I do like Hawaiian pizzas.
I'm all down for Voodoo, honestly. There's, like, some elements of it I'm pretty cool with, but...
I mean,
I'm not excessive.
I mean, I like very similar to I really like coffee. I don't need hazelnut flavoring and whipped cream in it. Like I like coffee. Okay. I like things that taste like the thing.
Gotcha.
I don't need things to
You don't
taste
need it
like
jazzed up.
I like bagels and I like pizza. If I want pizza, I'll eat a fucking pizza. If I want a bagel, I'll eat a bagel. I don't need a pizza bagel, because why? Bagels are fucking... Oh, I might like bagels more than like donuts. I fucking love donuts.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that next time. So last question: what are the people that go to a scene? What do you call it? A scene?
Zine.
A zine.
Fanzine. Short for
Symposium. As compared to a convention.
I think Alex has an answer for this.
Well, I have to say that, but like Justin told me about the show, and I wanted to listen to an episode.
Oh boy!
So I listened to the one with Merso.
Yeah.
Just because
that one ended weirdly. We just ended up yelling at each other at the end. But
but it's funny because you tell a story about going to the Zine Symposium, and it must have been like 2 years ago. So now I just feel like you go to these all the time.
No. I think I was talking about the Olympia Zine Fest.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
So you do go to them a lot.
I do.
So you really know when it's a good one, when it's a bad one.
Well, I mean, the best is Short Run. I mean, what's funny about all of this is that for a second I was gonna hawk my new fanzine at the beginning of the episode, but then I was like, no. But since
let's do it.
Yeah, let's
should
do
we do
this.
it?
Let's
I
do
think
it.
we should do this.
We should do this.
Yeah.
Okay, Adam.
And then we should talk about food some more.
Yeah,
We're a very
I feel like-
food-centric band.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
What's the difference between a scene symposium and a scene zine symposium and a zine fest?
Tomato.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I just completed the 13th issue of my fanzine, and it's 28 pages, which is a lot. It has a risograph? How do you pronounce it?
I always say Riso.
Riso? I'll
but
go with that.
I don't know.
So
That's what Aiden does.
Aiden,
Oh, yeah.
Aiden printed those.
Yeah, actually,
Okay,
Aiden
I had
did
a
this.
feeling,
You know,
yeah.
he still hasn't picked up that money that I left here for him. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. And so yeah, it's I put a lot of time into it. If you want to order it, I'm really bad with the internet, so you have to go to Etsy/Clocktower9, and you'll be able to order it. And so yeah, please do it. I printed up a lot of them, and I want to get rid of them. And so the things in it, there's a 5,500 word story that I wrote about road tripping in the late 90s, early 2000s. There is 3 people answer the question, what's the last record I would ever sell? I have an ongoing column, which is 1,000,000 things that I've learned from postcards. And this has 75 to 91. So I still got a lot to go. And there is a recipe on how to make pizza in prison from my pen pal who's in prison. He gives a full recipe about how you make pizza in prison.
Whoa.
a guy once told me how to make tomato soup on tour, which is go to McDonald's and you get ketchup, sugar,
Ketchup, sugar.
cream, and then hot water. Tomato soup. Never tried it. Never will.
If you've tried that, email in at accidentsonpurposepodcast@gmail.com, and we're going to take a short break. So now, Bandcamp. Have you heard of Bandcamp?
Yeah.
They said that your record was one of the best records of winter 2017.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
No.
Yeah.
2017 winter hasn't happened.
Oh.
2016 winter? No, because it was in January, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're considering like November, December
I would
2016.
get confused by that.
January.
Yeah,
Very
it's
very
tricky. It's tricky.
That's very confusing.
So do you consider it a winter record?
No, I don't know.
it's a record for all seasons.
Really?
We
No,
worked on it
come
for
on.
like
Well,
so long that it doesn't
4
really-
years?
It was about
The actual...
Two?
It did take a long time.
took a long time,
That's
so-
kind of... Actually, I was joking, but that's kind of like what I was thinking about, was like...
It's not really specific to a time, yeah. As far as like, yeah, season. We didn't like do it all in one.
When were we writing a lot of that stuff, though? More probably the fall or something.
Yeah.
Do you ever,
Justin likes the fall.
Do you ever the band or
No, everyone...
Yes.
Movie?
We
The
just
band
like that
movies.
one song that everybody likes.
Totally wired?
Um,
Can't you see? I'm totally wired now.
Yeah, that one. But but the season, he likes the season, the fall. So we'll maybe fall.
I don't know. I think it's actually I do think it's kind of a winter record. I'm sorry.
No, that's
That's
cool.
cool.
That's cool.
Who's Frank?
Oh.
I don't. What? It's an acronym, but I don't remember what for.
Yeah, I
was
don't
trying to
remember
think
what
of
it
that
was.
today.
We originally had what it was, but I think we forgot. It's just that actually Frank is a we have another song called Bass Jam that was just kind of like what we nicknamed it as
Yeah.
we're writing, and Frank is the same way, but that's what we called it as we're writing it, and we just kept it. I think it was like.
We did have a song that the working title was Bits, remember? Boys in the Shop.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's true.
oh, hello.
But that song
That's
got
what we are right
I
now,
think
right,
we've
boys?
turned that into another song or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
The
I think
Frank-
I can't remember what the acronym.
Yeah, I think it was a joke because we already had a song called Ian. It's named after our friend Ian of the band Gag, who was on tour
With us,
with us. He was like the roadie for Iron Lung on that tour I mentioned, and he really liked. I think he liked that song, or we just liked Ian. We thought we'd name a song after him.
Is that his ringtone now?
I don't know.
I would hope so.
But I remember at one point we added a middle section to the song, and he's like, he wasn't into it.
Oh no!
Yeah, he was
That's
like-
He was like,
great.
why'd you add that part?
Yeah.
Like, I don't like.
So funny.
Have any of the songs on your record, like once the record comes out, you're like just don't play them anymore?
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
So you might have fans that have never heard you play like their favorite song.
Yeah, that happens all
Possibly,
the time.
yeah. Especially because we switched John from synthesizer to guitar. He actually only knows 5 songs from the record.
Oh, okay.
And that may be all he ever knows because we're writing new songs now.
Sorry.
Never stop, huh?
We're trying to keep the momentum going because the last one took so long.
No, keep the momentum running. Yeah. So now a friend of mine works at a hotel in Spokane, and either I can tell this story or you can tell this story.
Really? Only just I wasn't there for this.
Yeah, I'll
It's
tell
funny
it.
because Nicole just brought this up.
Yeah, I feel like they think it was funny too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, so we played this festival in Spokane, Volume Fest. It was a really, really fun time.
Yeah, that's a
And
great one.
They basically put up all of the bands in this. Was it a
La Quinta?
No.
Oh.
Remember, 'cause
Oh, Red Lion.
Red Lion.
Yeah.
But it was like this new posh version of Red Lion.
Yeah.
Remember, it was just our.
It was cool.
Oh, it's just R.
It was like it was
Yeah.
like just like that. They
Also sick, free coffee.
yeah.
Oh yeah, they take care of you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the festival put up all the traveling bands in this hotel. So it was like a hotel full of bands, but it just happened to be going on during the same weekend in Spokane that this like Little League championship was happening. So it was tons of 20, 30-year-old band people and families. Just like tons of Little League families. And the night of our...
Wait, hold on. Little League family sounds like a weird, like, voting demographic.
Yeah.
And he really speaks to the Little League family
Yeah.
on the campaign trail.
It was nuts, though. It was a very bizarre clash of demographics, basically.
Do you think there's any romance sparked? Do you think there's like a Romeo and Juliet style like she's in the Little League and he plays bass, or like, she plays
anything,
bass? And
hopefully not that. I was thinking more like Little League mom isn't getting enough attention from Little League dad / coach, and then she meets like
coach.
Me.
I can see that happening.
Bond over the coffee.
I'm like, do you know
this
about the
coffee's
free
pretty
pie?
good. Yeah, it's not bad.
Have you ever had Cafe Vita?
Yeah.
It's not like Maxwell House.
Right.
If anything, I felt like so weird to be like a band dude in that scenario, because there's just the families and there's just like
it seems
cool
like it would
dudes
feel
there.
like the same as like
cool
being at
people.
being at a hotel with like people that are at Disneyland, where you're like, there's all these people that are here for one thing, but I'm here for something completely different.
Exactly. It totally had that feeling to it. Anyway, so the night of our show, the band, I can probably just say it was them, right? They don't care. Anyway,
No.
Miss Cummings, our friends, they were playing the same festival, but just a different show. And
A lesser show, I'm assuming.
No.
Their show is
Their show is
They had
awesome.
cool blue lighting.
And they had great lighting, and they played awesome.
Yeah.
They were so good. Anyway, I think like most of them got pretty drunk, except for Nicole.
Nicole told me the thing. The idea was to get Joe really drunk, because I guess Joe doesn't usually get drunk.
Okay, yeah.
So
that's always a good plan. Someone who normally doesn't get drunk, getting them drunk.
they're like,
Yeah,
he
always.
drinks-
and on the other side of the state.
but it was like, let's get him really drunk just for fun, because she just wanted to see what it would be like.
Yeah, totally. We all had drink tickets, I think, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But anyway, and Clark, who plays bass in Miss Cummings, plays tambourine in Dreamdecay. And so...
So many talents.
So, anyway, like, they all get pretty drunk, and, like, Dreamdecay is, like, pretty boring when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, we smoke weed occasionally and stuff like that, but we're not really, like, we're pretty low-key.
Yeah.
Anyway, everyone goes back to their hotel rooms. I think that we, like, got burritos and, like, watched a movie or something.
Yeah.
And then at some
fun.
point, me and John were like, oh, you know what, let's be bad. Let's go to the go to the vending machine and get some candy
To wash these burritos down.
I know, at like 2 a.m. or whatever. And so we're going. We figured out where it is. We're walking down this long hotel.
Which, also, I like how you have to figure out where the vending machines are. In
Okay,
the
wait,
hotel.
hold on. It was really hard. I will tell you that it wasn't. There wasn't one on our floor. So we figured out where it was, and we were walking down this like super long hallway, and we kind of turned around and we noticed that some of the Miss Cummings people were at the other end of the hallway walking towards us, and we're like, oh, that's cool. Like, let's go say hey, see how they're doing, whatever. And all of a sudden, I just like got this vibe, like, oh, they're like really fucked up right now. Like, they're like really drunk. And then all of a sudden they start running towards us. And this hallway is so long, we're like trapped, and they're screaming and doing like somersaults and like just running as fast as they can towards us. And I'm like freaking out, like, where do I go? And all of a sudden I hear two separate dogs that are in hotel rooms start barking. And this is like 2 a.m., hotel, Little League families everywhere, whatever.
Oh, Little League families always have dogs.
Yeah. Anyway, so the dogs are barking. Me and John are like scrambling to get out of this hallway. We gotta get out of here. We can't be with them. Anyway, this guy... one of the hotel rooms basically swings, the front door swings open. It's this dad in nothing but his underwear. And he just screams at the top of his lungs. He just says, what the fuck is going on? And, of course, he opens the door to me and John, and we're speechless, and we're trying to explain in the fastest way possible that it's them, not us. And then we just book it, basically. We start running, and then, like, another woman opens the door, and she's, like, trying to figure out what's happening. And we just, like, ignore her and keep passing her. And then this other woman comes out, and she's holding a baby. She's holding a baby, and she looks like she's scared for her life. She's like, do I need to, like, go outside? Is there an emergency? And, yeah, and I don't...
It turns out there wasn't supposed to be dogs in there
Yeah.
at all.
Oh.
And so, like, the security guard came out, and he was concerned about the dogs.
That's great.
So the dogs kind of saved your bacon a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though you're a vegetarian and you don't have any bacon to save.
That's true.
But yeah, so that was a really odd situation to find ourselves in, especially being,
I wish I was there.
you know, a burrito and vending machine
So
type
you
of
guys
night.
inspired such excitement that you guys like woke up half a floor of a hotel by people running towards you because they're so excited and exuberant to see you.
Yeah.
Well, like what I like is that right now there is a Little League podcast being recorded where the guests are telling the opposite version of this story.
I would love to hear that story.
Okay, so let's get serious for a second. Where do you two? I mean, you have to answer this separately. Where do you like to get your coffee? Where do you like to get your Joe, your coffee?
That's a great question. Alex, I'll let you go first.
Did you already said that you like coffee?
I do.
And you're the only one who's drinking coffee right now.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty decent. It's a pretty basic cup, but it's pretty good. It's a 10-ounce Americano. From a place that shall remain nameless.
Why?
Because I didn't say it was stellar. I said it was basic. It's from Vivace. They do what they do.
Whoa,
Dude,
I would love to
shots
see.
fired.
I would love.
Shots fired.
I would love to see a billboard. Vivace. We do what we do.
Yeah. I would say, and full disclosure, my roommate is a manager there, and I get some coffee at the house, but it is really my favorite, Herkimer.
Oh yeah, that's good coffee.
Herkimer is pretty good. I like Vivace, maybe because I'm used to like a ritual where I come here to the record store and I go there right before, but I'm not particularly picky.
Or local to us, also very good, Empire Espresso.
Yeah,
Where's that?
Empire is great.
In Columbia City.
Oh,
They
I'll
had
check
one.
that
They
out.
had one here on Capitol Hill for a while. But not just.
Where's that at?
It's fucking
Right around the corner from the
Holden
Starbucks.
or something like that. Yeah, it's right around the corner from the
Oh, I'll have
Starbucks,
to
right
look
off
at-
Rainier.
I have to make a field trip out
Yeah,
there.
it's good, quite good.
I know Justin. Maybe it's not their coffee, but I know one place you like to go to before you come to work.
I know what you're gonna say.
Well, why don't you just say it then?
Oh, is it?
Is it
Bakery Nouveau.
Yes, I love that. I love that you saw me there that day too.
It was funny. So what it was I had the day off, and me and my special lady friend were at Bakery Nouveau getting snacks, and then it was funny because I was like, "Oh, there's Justin," and it's just weird to see someone in your life waiting in line, especially when you know exactly what they're doing. Like,
Yes.
like I knew exactly where you were going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which the thing is, I love everything they have except their coffee. Their coffee, I think, is awful.
Yeah. It's not my favorite.
It's shitty. I used to live a block away, and I would walk past it to go to other places to get coffee.
Yeah, I think that day in particular, I had this like moment where I was like, you know what? It's gonna be a long day. You've had a long week.
Need a pan chocolate.
You need to go to Bakery Nouveau and treat yourself before you start this shift at the record store.
This horrible, awful shift. Those awful people.
So I'm actually kind of excited. I actually wrote down where my favorite coffee place.
You know, actually, it's unfortunately we are running out of time.
it'll just take
No,
one-
actually,
it'll
no.
take 1
The
second.
next show,
I
the
just have
next
this one
show, the
paragraph.
next show
It's
has to
pretty
go on. This
quiet,
is
it's
AM radio.
concise,
You gotta
and
lay off
it'll
the
just be a
caffeine
few
'cause your
moments.
blood
I got
pressure.
it all written out. It took a lot of time. If you just give me that real.
Okay, so I want to thank Alex and Justin from Dreamdecay. Their record is called You, Y-U. Is your next record going to be Y-U? Like W-H-Y space Y-O-U? Don't answer that. This is another Accents on Purpose. Thank
And if
you.
you're looking for a really good place for coffee,
Okay,
head on
and
down
we
to-
are out of here.
This has been a podcast presented by
Hard to find media.
Subscribe to Hard to Find Media on YouTube.com/Hard to Find Media Network. This shit is free. Share it. Blast it. fuck it.